if you go into your if you press O to go into your player stuff, and you have captured or convinced some helpers to join you, right? What you do is, and this is the difference between this game and every other, what you do is you see, okay, if I look at my character and I go to proficiency, you see that all of my proficiencies are maxed out at 50. You see that? Every proficiency maxed out at 50, some number and then 50, right? And that means that we can only do the one upgrade here at the reward level, and that's it. We hit 50 on everything and we're done. However, if I go over here to one of my NPCs that we've captured, and these are high level NPCs, these are decent. Well, I don't know what high level is. This is a level 40 something. Okay. These proficiencies go way above 50. So 90s. Over here we got like 104, 119. So that means that the NPCs can get more of the bonuses, and they get more proficient, meaning they get more mastery and more different options for everything. Now, this matters because what you do is you think of yourself in this game as the mask, not the human, and you can walk up to your NPC, hold E on it, and click the button that says control, and then it makes the NPC your character. So as soon as you do that, you're now controlling the NPC, which means that now all of your proficiencies are much higher. You're better at fighting. Maybe you have a guy who's really good at armor crafting. Now your armor crafting is super high. You can go craft or whatever. So the trick to this game is not your player character that you start with. That actually is one of the worst. The trick is get really good NPCs, take over the NPC, and then use the NPC to be better. So the bodies are more like a stepping stone for you. You don't ever have to go back to your first body, right? You don't have to go back to your first body because unless all of them die. But what makes it super, super cool, in my opinion, for the PvP side, or even for the PvE side technically, is that there is huge risk with the reward. So obviously if I take over this character and I've got really good shit on me and whatever, if you die while this character, you don't get to respawn and go get your stuff. This character is now gone. So if you're using this body and it dies, it's gone. You've lost it. You have to go get another one now. And so in PvP, that means, yeah, I can take my strongest PvP NPC out, make it me. Now I'm the strongest. But if it dies, I revert back to my body with a max proficiency of 50. That's why I love it. The risk versus reward for doing this at in-game high-level PvP is really good because of this, because your player character will get dominated in the late game. If I take a character like this, where I have a proficiency on, for instance, like Spear, and I have a proficiency of 119 max, meaning I'm getting the 3 bonuses, or let's say I could get past 120. I have 4 proficiency bonuses. You have 1 as a player character, the first player character. I'm gonna shit stomp you. And so that balances that by, however, if I die, if something goes horribly wrong and I die, that's gone. There's no going back. It's not like when you die as your player character, right? And you just respawn, you go get your gear, then you come back and you go again. No, if you die as this character, this body is now completely gone and you're back on your first character with a max of 50. So it's really interesting. It's a really cool take, and you can swap back and forth. So you don't have to do just one. So if you have a bunch of NPCs that are your volunteers, as we call them, and let's say you have one that's really good at armor crafting, you can switch to the armor crafter, go make your armor. Let's say you have one that's really good at weapon, you can then go and switch back. It's really easy. You just walk up to them, hold E and press control. That's all you got to do. But you can only do that to your NPCs. So anybody in my tribe, I think I might need to check through the tribe settings. I actually haven't done that. I should probably do that. But as far as we've tried so far, you can only do it for your personal NPCs, right? But yeah, so that's what I think makes this game super unique, and that's what I think may make it really fun PvP wise with risk versus reward, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't like no risk PvP. I don't like no risk, all reward PvP. That's what I think. When you say no risk, all reward, I think of Sea of Thieves. Now I enjoy Sea of Thieves for fun every now and then, but the reality is if I want to be a pirate in Sea of Thieves, I have zero risk. My boat's free every time. You know, I just go get some cannonballs and then I can go ruin somebody's time who's been farming for hours and hours and hours. There's no risk to the reward. It's all reward. But in this game, there's high risk, high reward. That's why I like it. That's why I like it. So obviously you can lose your stuff anytime you die, but you don't always lose your character, you know, your NPC, which I think is the coolest part. The trick is if you have NPCs, okay, as long as you're not on my server, where if you are, I'm not going to tell you the secret. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so if you go into this is your character, right? Your first one. Remember, from now on, this is not who we are. The mask is who we are. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We are the mask, not the body. The human body is indifferent. Okay, check this out. Your starting character, if you go to proficiency, right, its max proficiency is 50 in everything. Can't go past 50, right? And if you have ever seen, you probably looked and you thought, well, what the fuck is the point of having a bonus at 60 or 90 or 120 because I can't go past 50? And you thought, I'll probably get to level that up. Now, as far as we know, there could be a way to level this up that we don't know about yet, but as far as we know from people who have played the game for lots of betas and done lots of testing, as far as we know, your starter character cannot get past 50 proficiency. However, if you have an NPC, like I have a high level NPC here, or medium level, let's say, because I don't really know what high level is yet in the game. This is a like level 43 to 45. You can see that the proficiency in this character is way higher. Okay, way higher. So we got like 119 on the spear. So in that case, if it was 120, we could get the bonuses for all of this. And this also applies to logging and, you know, all the shit basically. So the proficiency is way better. So you get way more upgrades. So because we're the mask and not the body, what we can do is we can walk up to our NPC. Okay. And also, just as an aside, all of your NPCs will have a bunch of abilities like this if they're good. The red ones are sometimes not good. They give debuffs, but you just read them and it tells you what everything does. But anyway, so I can go up to this MVC and click the button that you've probably seen called control. Then this is now my character with the upgraded proficiencies, right? That's my new character. And so the cool thing about it, in my opinion, as somebody who likes risk and reward, is that if you die while controlling this character, you don't respawn as this character. I'm pretty sure that this character is now dead and you revert back to your starter character. So there's a good reason to be careful and only use these when you need to, but you get all the higher benefit of doing so. So you can switch between all of your NPCs. So I can switch between this one or the other one, and I get their proficiency. So for instance, this one's got a decently high cooking at 100. I could go here, use this NPC while I cook, and then if I were going out to fight, I would switch back to this NPC that has 119 max combat skill with the spear. And so when you look at it as you being the mask and not the body, and understand that the reality is the worst body is your first character because that only can cap at 50, then you look at each one of these as NPCs, including your first body. And this is where you end up if you die with an NPC that had a better body, so to speak. So if you had a better stat to what you die, you end up here again. So it's very risky to take the good ones out, but it can be very beneficial, obviously. No, Task, get us some scouting report on that bad boy. How many NPCs? So personally, you can up the NPC amount. Is it this one? Yes. So you start with 3. You do this, which ups it to 6. And I'm not sure if you can go higher than 6. I'm not sure. But for sure 6. And then a tribe can have 50, I think is the max right now. Okay, Psycho, check this out. So this is our new NPCs. All right. Let me know if you can't read that. Can you read that? This fucking thing hates alpaca, bro. It hates alpaca. It gets a negative aversion to alpaca. It gets negative 75% move improvement. Or no, sorry, 40% decrease move improvement. And it gets a debuff for 5 minutes. The only thing we've tamed is a bunch of fucking alpaca. You can do more than that, actually. So you go into here and you queue it up. There's something called, you press D and it makes a planned queue. And if I were to do that, any NPC that is set to take care of this, which should say down here, so Psycho's Tribesman base main will take care of this. So if I set a queue, base main will come, grab whatever he needs out of the boxes, make it, and then put it up in the right box. Now, the logo, symbols on this box is this. If you go into the box and you press L, and you store the item type by, let's just say, food, right? Or no, let's do something different. Let's do weapons. Oh, it's not letting me because I think there's other shit in there. Normally it lets you choose which weapons, which types of things you want to put in there. So different types of weapons or armors or whatever. So you just click it and then you can select whenever. I think it has to be empty for that to work. But anyway, that's how you do that as well. Hello, get me out of here. And then that way, if you look, there's only whatever is set on these boxes. That's the only thing that can go in there. So an NPC will come, work, take the thing, put it in the box. Come, work, take the thing, put it in the box. If it's out of resources, it'll go, grab the shit, come back, craft the thing, put it in the box. Unless you, and you can also assign it not to. If you go in here, you click down here. This one says items crafted by tribesmen here will not be automatically moved to the storage chest. That means they'll leave whatever they craft. So you can see these are all, this is Hammer Prodigy. Right now, Hammer Prodigy is working on these. By the way, Psycho, Rang spent a lot of time looking into this, and there's a better way to do it than just hit the queuing up button and just have them do 999. He's got them set so they'll do, like this one right here does 100 every hour. So the maximum they'll do is 100 every hour. So we can set that for whatever we want, but that way it always will go and it doesn't stop at 999, assuming we were going to hit that, if that makes sense.